Hi folks, Clayton here again from About Time Fishing and Exploring. Tonight I'm just going to do a short video on how to make a wind-on. It's something we use in the industry for attaching our heavy leader line to the lighter main lines. It's something not a lot of people know how to do, and they buy them from the shops and they're very expensive if you buy them that way. But if you buy the materials to make them, you can make quite a few for the price of one normal one. There's a couple of things you'll need. One is some heavy mono. Tonight I've got 400 pound here, just so it's easier for you to see when we do it. And you will need some Dacron. Once again, I've got some 130 Dacron here tonight, just so you can see it. Now Dacron, if you don't know what it is, it's a hollow core weaved line. By meaning of that, it's hollow in the center, so you can actually splice the line, and what that does is it gives you a joint where there's no knot. So when you're winding your line in, you can wind your wind-on leader and everything right onto the reel, and there's no knots to get in your eyelets. So I'll go through step by step. Now, you don't need a lot of fancy tools like people will tell you. You don't need expensive rigging kits and stuff. You can do it with basically stuff that you've got in your tackle box. What you will need is a bit of wire. You will need some dental floss for at the end for wrapping, your heavy mono line that you're going to use for your leader, and some Dacron. And what we'll do in a second is I'll get started and I'll go through step by step. Okay, so to get started with our wind-on, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to work with the Dacron. In the States, a lot of people use braid, a hollow cord braid. It's basically the same stuff. To make your little tool, which you can use again and again and again, just need a bit of single strand wire, and you just fold it and you put a kink right in the end, and this is going to become your tool. Very simple. Everyone's got normal single strand wire in their tackle box. They use it for lures and stuff, and that's all you need. Secondly, we're going to get our braid, or our Dacron in this case, and we're going to make a loop. Now I've got about 5 foot here, and what we're going to do to make a loop, now this is my version of it. It's what I use on the game boats when I'm working, and I've had 100% never fail. It's a bit different to what some people do, and where I've got paying customers paying a couple of $1,000s a day as a deck end, you can't afford to stuff up and have a knot or a splice or something that you've done let go and cause that person's dream fish to get away. So this is the way I do it, and like I said, I've never had one let go on me. So we're going to take our Dacron and we're going to get about 1 foot and fold it in half, come down, and where the end of it is, that's going to be our entry point. Now Dacron is a hollow core weave, like I said, so what we're going to do is we're just going to work our wire into the Dacron. Now if you just put gentle pressure on it, you can actually open up the Dacron, and you will slide your wire up inside. Now I'm only going to go about 2 inches, and I'm going to stop. I'm then going to bring it back out. I'm going to go about 1 inch, and I'm going to go back in. So you'll see there on my wire, I've got a tiny little loop that will become tight later on and you won't see it. And we'll just keep working our line along the wire. At the end of this I will put some still shots up a lot closer so you can see what's actually going on. And we're nearly there. What we're going to do is we're going to then poke the wire out very gently, and now we're going to open up our wire just a little bit here, and we're going to put the loop end of the wire in here. But before I do that, I'm going to fray it a little bit so that when it's inside it gives it a bit more tension and it won't slide. A lot of people don't do this, it's just what I do. Right, so we get our wire, open the eye and pop that in there and just pull it through just a little bit and pull it up tight. Now we're going to pull that wire out and that's going to create our loop. So very slowly we bunch it all up so that it's nice and open, and we'll just work this part here at the top by just twisting it slowly as we pull it over top, and you'll see it'll disappear down inside. And it will come out where we went back in before. Just here. Just do it slowly. And then we're going to go back in. So we're going to work it back in again. And what we do is we pull it out the bottom. Okay. Now there, we have our wire now out of the Dacron. And we just need to get this out of the way. Done with our wire. And you can see you got your tag end there come out, and you've got a little loop there. Okay, what that does is just a bite. So now we work on our eye. We get our loop up here, about the size that we want, and we pull it tight and we pull it down. And what will happen is that inside line will tighten up, just like the old Chinese finger clamps, where you put your finger in and then you can't pull them back out. The tighter you pull, the more strength there is in it. Same here, we just pull that there, and you will see where we come out and go back in, it's going to take a double bite. And just work that so it's nice and tight. And there you go. And what happens is you're not just got the lock of the line, but where you come out and went back in, it takes a double lock. And that will never, ever come undone. Okay, for the next part, once again, we got our Dacron. We use the other end now, the opposite end to where the loop is, and we get our main heavy leader line. And we are going to thread this up inside. Now, in some videos they'll use a bait needle, and it does make it a lot quicker, and basically put the bait needle on here and slide it through. You don't need it, but this does exactly the same thing. It just takes a lot longer, and if you're not in a hurry, well, this is just fine to do it. Okay, so you get your end of your Dacron, and you just wiggle it around till you can get it open, and then you start to feed your heavy line inside, simply just by pushing the Dacron loose and pushing it along, little bit at a time. Now this will take a bit of time and I won't bore you to death with it, but this is just how you do it. And you work this line all the way along till it reaches the other end where you finished your original splice. So I'll stop the camera here in just a minute, and I'll take up with you when we get to that stage, just so you don't get too bored watching this. But this is exactly how it's done. This is how we do it on the marlin boats. And this way, like I said, I've never had one fail. I don't buy them from the shops. I make all my own. That way I can't blame anyone else. I originally did in the start, and I found I was getting broken wind-ons and things were letting go and I was losing fish. And I got online and I got together with some of my other deckhand mates and I learned how to do it. And once you learn how to do it, you make your own, and that way you know exactly what you got and what you're putting out there. So I'll get back to you in just a minute when I finish rigging this up. Okay, now we're back to the finishing stage. Basically, we've got our loop, we've got our splice inside that's been double locked, we've got our heavy mono fed all the way up inside the Dacron, and we pull it down tight. Now we're just going to do a little bit of lashing just at the end where the two meet. For this, I use good old wax dental floss or wax twine, or anything you've got lying around, but this is something that you can get quite easily from the supermarket. Just make sure it's waxed, because what you want is the wax to actually bite in, and that stops it from coming undone. So I'm going to take a couple of feet of this just to make it a bit easier. And we are just going to get a little bit doubled up here. And we're going to go about 1 centimetre up from where our Dacron meets our mono. And we're just going to put that through and tie over any knot. Grab the two ends, pull it down tight. Right. What we're going to do now, just get the little tag end out of the way, and we're going to do a concession of 1/2 inches, and we're going to work that down over top of that loose Dacron end and go about 1 centimetre onto the mono as well. And what that'll do is that'll just snug it all down, hold it tight, and won't let it come undone. Once again, I won't bore you with this part. Everyone knows how to do a 1/2 inch. It's basically just round the line, back through the hole, work your line so it's nice and neat next to the last coil, pull it down tight. Just snip it. You don't need to pull it too tight. You just want it tight enough that the wax in your line bites, and that'll hold it shut. Bloody tag end's getting in the way. Right, so now we've got 6 or so on. Just going to use my knife here, and I'm going to cut this tag end off so it's out of the way. And I will continue on, and I will get back to you in just a minute. Okay, so now that's all whipped, that's basically your wind on finished. Just pull it all nice and tight, roll him up, and that's ready to fit onto your line. And this is something you can do while you're sitting at home watching a movie or something, or while you're cruising out on the boat on a quiet day, not much happening. Just have a few of them all rigged ready. So hopefully this has been a help to you. I'll put some still photos up with a little bit closer footage so you can get an idea of it all. But I hope this has been a help. once again, my name's Clayton. This is About Time Fishing and Exploring. If you like these videos, please give us a thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification button, and when I make more videos, you'll be the first to know. And if you've got anything you'd like to see or know, let me know, because I wouldn't have got anywhere in my fishing career if people hadn't helped me. So once again, please like, subscribe, and there'll be more videos coming out to you very soon. But that's your wind on leader. Nice and simple, eh? I know it's not. Practice makes perfect. So just do it over and over again, get used to making them, and trust me, you will prefer to make your own in the end to buying them from a shop. One, they'll be cheaper. Two, they'll be better quality. You'll know exactly what you've got. And that's my 100% wind on leader that won't let go. I've never had one let go on me yet. Thanks again for watching. See you out in the Great Door somewhere.